relatively new member of Toastmasters. Her name is Laeticia Kouassi. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Kouassi.
Kouassi?
Yes.
All right, sorry. She's been a member since November of 2019. Laeticia is an HR professional who is currently working at Bristol Myers Squibb. Nice, big company. She's going to be doing her icebreaker tonight and is completing the strategic relationships path. Please welcome Laeticia.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Laeticia Kouassi. It's not an easy name. I've actually joined Toastmasters mainly because I wanted to improve my public speaking abilities. While preparing this icebreaker, to be honest with you, I did not know which direction to go just because there is so much in my life and it was difficult for me to pick a specific aspect. Ultimately, I want to make you aware that if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to me afterwards. There are no weird questions. I will be glad to answer them. As you may wonder, I was not born in the United States. I was actually born in the Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast is in West Africa. It is a French-speaking country, so it was a French colony until 1960 when it became independent. Ultimately, growing up in the Ivory Coast, I can tell you that it's very different from what you see here in the US, especially when I was born. Basically, to give you a quick overview, at that time, we only had two main channels, for example, on TV, where you had a cartoon at 7 p.m. So if you missed at 7 to 8 p.m. when the news starts, there is no more TVs for you. TV wasn't the focus. We spent a lot of time playing with other kids outside. We spent a lot of time outside. And in the classrooms, for example, we used chalk on the boards. It wasn't anything. We didn't have any computer, and to be honest with you, I actually used my first computer in 2000. Before that, I had never seen or used any of that. My typing as a result is very hard, but it took a lot of determination. And ultimately, I was able to catch up. I am actually the first of 13 kids. So you can imagine, again, determination to grow up in such a large family. I survived all of them as the first, so I'm very proud of that. And as you can imagine, based on my culture, my parents have a lot of expectations for the firstborn. Ultimately, since I was growing up, I was made aware that I was going to be going overseas and I was going to study and I was going to be having a master's degree. Specifically an MBA when I did not know what it was. Ultimately, I relocated to France, where I studied for my bachelor's degree. It was the easiest transition possible because my first language is French. Lots of determination to be able to adapt myself to just being alone for the first time, not having so many people around me that really were my buddies. I didn't need friends until I had to move. So that was a great experience. After my time there, again, I've always been told you have to go to the US and do that MBA. So ultimately, determination again. I embarked in my journey to the US, and that was even more challenging because of the language. I could not speak any English when I came here, and I did not know anyone. So ultimately, I had to learn everything from the ground up. But after studying at the University of Tampa, I was able to earn my master's degree in business administration. I ended up finding a job in human resources, oddly enough, and that was out of pure luck. They needed someone who was a French speaker to be able to support the US and Canada. And here I am in Tampa speaking French. You do not need a lot of determination for that. So I actually was fortunate enough to start my career in HR at PricewaterhouseCoopers. And since that time, I have been working in HR at different companies in the Tampa Bay area. I do visit, I do travel a lot. That is one thing that I do appreciate. And I'm also appreciating the fact that I don't have so many people around me all the time. I've been able to manage both, where I will go back home for vacation, spend time with my family, enjoy everybody. My siblings are also all across the country now. I have some in all the world. I have 2 in Canada studying. I have some in France, so I tend to travel a lot to meet family and friends as I try to connect with everybody. The other thing too that I wanted to share with you is regarding my time, the time that I've spent actually in the US, like I said to you earlier, was challenging, and it wasn't just because of the fact of the language, but culturally. Culturally in the Ivory Coast, as you can imagine, being a French colony, you have a lot of influences, a lot of things that are French related that you can relate to. However, in the US, it is a completely different culture. So that was another challenge for me to be able to overcome. And lastly, determination was there for me to be able to overcome that. Like I said to you, if you do have questions, I will be available. And very important, if any of you ever want to visit the Ivory Coast, be my guest.
There you go.